We are live. This is YSM Sports Media. I'm your host, Jamil Parker. What's good with y'all out there? All right, so I was watching the Canelo versus Saunders presser earlier, and then what followed it was Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather. I'm sorry, Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul. I don't want to disrespect Floyd like that. Um, and I saw what was getting more attention. Floyd versus Logan Paul. Floyd had a run in with Jake Paul. Jake Paul ended up stealing his hat, and there was like a little melee or whatnot. A lot of fans thought that that was legit, but I'm pretty sure that was scripted. And even Jake Paul did like a snap or a story that he was going to do it beforehand, and that was that seemed like it drummed up interest in a fight that none of us really wanted to see. Like, one nobody calling for Floyd versus Jake Paul, and I'm sorry, Floyd versus Logan Paul, and nobody really cares. But now they do, and it's kind of trumping Canelo versus Saunders, which is actually a unification bout, and that actually means something in boxing. It's going to take Canelo Alvarez one step closer to being undisputed at 168 pounds, and that is something. Regardless of what some fans may think of Billy Joe as an opponent, it's something. And Floyd Mayweather, yet again, kind of trumps whatever young and up and coming fighter or established fighter that's having a pay per view or any kind of spectacle around the time of him. And are are Jake Paul and Floyd Mayweather, are they distracting boxing fans from real boxing? That's a legitimate question, because we know the casual fan is going to go for the glitz and glamour and of the name, right? And people consider Canelo Alvarez the face of boxing, but honestly, Canelo caters more to the Mexican fan and the casual, whether it's African American or white American. They really don't know too much about Canelo because he doesn't speak English frequently. Like, it surprised me the times that he did, because he speaks, English rather fluently. But in the past, he's kind of acted like he didn't, and maybe that's to homage his Mexican roots. But yeah, man, Floyd's upstaged him yet again. This has been a couple times now, and it kind of brings you to the space that Floyd really doesn't want anybody getting any attention. Floyd really doesn't want anybody else to eat but him. It's like, bro, we've been through a lot of pay-per-views with you. Some were good, some were lackluster, but they were against actual fighters. Logan Paul isn't a fighter. He couldn't even beat a YouTuber. The fuck do I want to see that for? Why is that on my timeline? Why? Yeah, I watched you fight Conor McGregor. That was a good fight. A good fight, as in not the actual action that was going on, but a good fight more as though you got the top guy in MMA, you got the top guy in boxing going head to head. Conor McGregor's a fighter at the end of the day. Mixed martial arts, boxing is a martial art. So we got somebody that's adept in mixed martial arts and somebody that's adept in the actual martial art of boxing. So it's something that's worth seeing. I don't want to see Floyd Mayweather Hall of Famer going up against some guy that makes videos. And I'm a guy that makes videos. But let's just be honest. No, that's not something I'm excited about, but yet and still it's dominating the news. It shouldn't be, but it is. And that goes back to, are they distracting boxing fans from real boxing? I'm inclined to say yeah. I'm inclined to say yeah. And now I'm looking at Eddie Hearn. Have you done your best to promote Canelo versus Saunders? Because this should be talking about on ESPN First Take, Undisputed, and it's not. It's kind of afterthought. And the fight is Saturday. But I guarantee you tomorrow, Max Kellerman, Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, and Skip Bayless is going to be talking about Floyd Mayweather and Jake Paul. See, fighters, they have this big misconception that the most important thing is winning the fight. And I'm not saying that actual boxing skills or actual wins and losses isn't important, because it is. But at the end of the day, ticket sales matter. Ticket sales matters more than anything to these promoters and to these networks. Ticket sales and viewership. Can you provide ticket sales and viewership? If you can't, then you're gonna be put on the back burner. It's just the truth. And a dude like Jake Paul, who hasn't fought a real boxer, but somehow somehow is the talk of boxing. Like that shows you everything, because he's coming in with a following. People have like an imperfect understanding of who and what Jake Paul is. Jake Paul is a star that boxes. Not Earl Spence is a boxing star, but Jake Paul is a star that boxes. Canelo is, a boxing superstar. Jake Paul already had a crazy following. He's bringing non-boxing fans to the sport. And to networks, that's very attractive. To Triller, who wants to promote their app, that's very attractive. Shit. To news outlets like mine and ESPN and Fox, that's very attractive, because people know that they're going to get eyes, and eyes equal revenue. That's just the nature of the beast. Now, would I like for Floyd to go off in the sunset and focus more on his promotional company and promoting his fighters? Yeah. Can I, in due conscience, tell a man not to get a free check? No. I just won't be watching. It doesn't interest me. I like real boxing. I like real basketball. I don't want to see Justin Bieber going up against Allen Iverson. For what? Justin Bieber isn't a basketball player, and Allen Iverson is retired. That's the equivalent of what's going on. And somehow people are interested and enamored, especially after the day, off of him doing some little kid shit, talking about got your head. It's like, yo, what is entertainment coming to? That is a guy, that little kid antics draws millions of views. It's like this kid just watched Jackass and just like, okay, I'm going to do that, because that's all this is a 2021 version of Jackass. Like I've seen this, and to me, Jackass was much more entertaining. But that's all Jake Paul and Logan Paul are. Now, it is difficult to come up with new concepts and fresh content daily. I ain't gonna lie to you, it definitely is. Oh, shouts out to Fighter IQ. What's good, bro? That's definitely difficult, but I'm not paying $70 or how much ever the Floyd Mayweather how much that pay per view is. I'm not paying that. I got better things to do with my time and money. No, I don't love Jake Fighter IQ. Yo, I respect what he's doing, but nah, man, I can't get with it. And I was definitely wrong about the Nate Robinson thing. He floored Nate Robinson. My man Fighter IQ told me that he was going to knock out Ben Askren. That shit was embarrassing. But yeah, non-fighters, non-fighters, and like, bro, I'm over it. I'm over it. And shout out to Floyd for giving us guys that's losing their hair. He's giving us hope. You know what I'm saying? I'm I might have to holler at Floyd's doctor. I'm getting real light in these areas right here. We the biggest Jake. You're the biggest Jake Paul fans. Hey yo, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'd be lying to say that Jake Paul that Jake Paul isn't a casual's dream because he really is. I'll be lying to say he isn't. But as far for me, a real boxing fan, I can't get with it. And Floyd needs to just give Canelo Alvarez his day because Floyd had his already. But those just my thoughts. YSM Sports Media. I'm out.